Last Minute Man, and we are back here today on the range. I'm with my good buddy Mr. Obvious. And Mr. Obvious, what do we have here today?
Oh, we have a 22-250 today with the heavy barrel. This is not the 40X big bull barrel, but it is the heavy barrel varmint gun, target shooting gun, whatever you want to call it.
Yep, and the 22-250 actually is around a lot longer than I had thought it was. It's actually, they say 1915 according to what I've been able to find on the Google. So if we're incorrect about that, please let us know in the comment section. But fact check us.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is a really neat rifle. It's something I saw sitting in Mr. Obvious in your safe. Mm-hmm. And he told me one of his favorite calibers is a 22-250
for target shooting. Yep.
Yeah.
Target shooting. This is a 700 BDL Remington, so it is a varmint target. It's got the laminated stock, all laminated Monte Carlo. Mm-hmm. It's a sweet gun. I've had it for years. It's not been shot in 10 years. We just shot it a couple times off screen here, so we can see if we're still on. We're pretty still. Within an inch.
Yeah, it was shooting good.
Yeah, so shooting pretty good. So we made a little bit of adjustments.
And you did glass bed the lug?
Yep, the recoil lug is glass bedded. The rest is not. This gun come originally with a walnut stock with the little black tip on the end. You know what I'm talking about, guys. It's gun experts. But I had two of these guns at one time. So I love this stock because of the laminated stock and stuff. So I swapped stock, sold the other gun. This one here just was a tack driver the whole time, so I kept it.
It is definitely a really good looking stock. Now the Nikon scope that's on here, not knocking Nikon, but this particular scope I personally don't like at all.
Nah, it's a target scope. It's got real fine crosshairs. I mean, you take a 22 caliber bullet and you can almost quarter the corners of it with the scope. The crosshairs are so fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's all right, but I'm not a fan of this scope. It's all we had back in the day when I had this gun.
Roger.
This gun's probably 20-year-old and the scope's probably pert near it. So,
right, and which is why today we're definitely going to be shooting off the ground instead of off these nice solid benches we have.
Yeah, these shakeable benches.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll be shooting off the ground at the 100-yard target over here, and then we're going to go out to the 400-yard, and we're going to see how this thing groups, how it zeros. These are hand loads that you have. These are not factory loads. And tell us a little bit about
loads. Well, in the day, back years ago, it shot fairly accurate. Now these hand loads for this gun here is 50 grain Sierra medium blitz. They're a flat back bullet. They're not boat tail. Seems to be this gun likes the flat back bullet. I never could get it shoot real good with the boat tail bullet. So
it's interesting, isn't it?
So it's fair. I mean, he'll shoot on your fingernail usually at 100, but we'll see what we can do today if we don't have any plate tectonics going on and a shaking of the Earth's mantle. We might be able to pull a pretty tight group with it.
We'll see what we do. We've got a very mild wind today. We got maybe 5-mile-an-hour crosswinds here. It's nothing major, but a little gust of 10 miles maybe.
And we got an age factor too. I'm getting older, ain't as steady as I used to be.
I was about to say, he better not be saying I'm getting old, because I'm still young, vibrant, ain't even reached my prime yet.
Well, you should be able to outshoot me. I'm old and I'm shaky, and
you can't beat experience though.
Yeah.
See, you got experience. I will not use my opponent's youth and inexperience against him, said Ronald Reagan, and here you are beating up on me. I'm just saying.
Wait till he gets 60-year-old.
He can still outshoot me. But anyway, we're going to get out here at 100, then go out to 400. I'm excited to see how this thing does. I've only shot a couple 22-250s in my life, and we'll give you our assessment and the after action report. But without further ado,
no, let's do one thing.
Okay.
Trigger pull on this gun.
Oh yeah, let's go ahead and
do that, and then we'll get right into shooting. How that won't take us but a second here.
Oh, all right.
Well, maybe a little more in a second. But you know what I'm saying. Well,
I'll edit it. Don't worry. All right. So here we are at the trigger pull.
Oh, Lord.
The half pound.
Half-pound trigger.
All right, let's do it again. That's the lightest it's been so far.
Yeah.
We checked it earlier. We were at just over a pound.
Yeah.
So
Half-pound trigger.
wow. Okay, so let's get out here and shoot this baby and see how accurate we can. All right, Mr. Obvious. So go ahead and take this 100-yard shot. He is shooting at the lower left-hand side target, and we've got a picture-in-picture going. Let's see what she does. You know what's funny is there's a lot of noise coming out of that, but not a lot of recoil. That's nice. I'll tell you, that scope makes a huge difference. It's pretty rough with that sucker. All right. Last shot. All right, so Mr. Obvious took some shots at the bottom left target, and we were using the wrong ammo there. He's got 2 different loads. So now he's gonna try at the right-hand target, and we'll see if we get a tight group. And have at it when ready, Mr. Obvious. All right, and how'd that there feel, Mr. Obvious?
I wiggled a little bit. I'm still wiggling.
All right, well, let's go down there and take a look at this. Okay, Mr. Obvious, you did both these targets here. Show us the outcome of your shooting.
Okay, we got 2 cutting and 1 out just a little bit. I mean, we're probably a 1/4 inch group here. That is with my hand loads. Then I shot another load, and you can see difference between hand loads. So we got 1.5 inch group here. So
now we got to say also, when he shot his first group, there was a fly on the target down here, and he thought he had pulled and missed that. He said, those can't be my good hand loads. So he said, let's use these other loads because these must have been my good ones. And it was actually the opposite.
It was the opposite.
And there was just a fly on the target, and you can see how tight that group is. I mean, it's very tight, you know. So
yeah. And I'm wiggling, so used to be had to put all 3 in the same hole pretty much at that distance. So
yeah. So
at one time that gun would do that. But I ain't shot it in 10 years, and then I'm shaking, wiggling. I'm not.
Well, we'll go out here to 400 according to the bullet drop compensator that we've looked at online. We're going to get about 18-inch drop from 0. So let's see how we do out at 4. All right, so Mr. Obvious is going to take this 400-yard shot. We got about a 10-mile-an-hour crosswind now. It's kind of picking up just a hair. Nothing radical, though, compared to what we have seen in the past. But Mr. Obvious is going to aim right between this dude's eyes over here. It's a target, steel target, people. It's not actually a dude. But he's going to aim right there, and we're expecting about an 18-inch drop. So let's see how she does, Mr. Obvious. It's a hit. We'll find out when we do the AAR here. It's another hit. That's only hitting at 400 yards with about 500 foot-pounds of energy. And he was hit 3 times. All right, I'll take a stab at it.
All right, last minute man is up. And that wind, as you can see out there, is a kicking probably about 10-mile-an-hour crosswind now, but he's going to hold right at the top of the target. I hit a little low, and he's going to hold right between the eyes. All right, here we go.
vertical stream on the left side.
Oh yeah.
Way different. Way different.
Well, we got wind.
Okay, Mr. Obvious. So I went and got the target, and I'm going to tell you what I know about myself and what I can see here. What I know is I never shoot this bad.
No.
But Mr. Obvious shot really well. I mean, relatively well. This is about a 9 1/4 inch spread, and go ahead and this is my first, second, and third shot.
Yeah, so we got about 9 3/4.
9 3/4, and then here you got like 3 1/4.
Here's
spread.
There's about 1 3/4 inches. And this one here is about 3 3/4, and about 3 3/4 again. So
what we're seeing here is this shot a tight group. Now, if it was trigger discipline, we would have seen a deviation right to left. Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't trigger discipline.
Now, breathing can cause this. Your breathing or lunging, anticipating recoil can cause this. But this is a very light recoiling gun. We've got a 1 pound trigger, or roughly under 1 pound. So what the heck? I was aiming in between and kind of picking a spot up here. How could I have done this? What do you think, Mr. Obvious?
I think it's a mirage, because after you shot and I got down and looked at the scope, I can just see all them vapors just coming up off the heat of that barrel.
And that's possible. It's possible that I just threw it that bad, but you can go back and watch a video with me shooting a AR-10 with a 7.5 pound trigger, and I'm shooting about like this with it. So that is kind of a mystery to me. That could very well be me. Anything's possible. I'm going to say it wasn't, though. I'm going to say that was the barrel heating up, and like Mr. Obvious stated, it could be causing a mirage, or it could just be the barrel heating up, but that is a heavy barrel.
Well, we
so
got gusts of winds, but
it wouldn't do that.
Wind, you'd have seen this.
Right,
like
and again, trigger pulling wind would have caused the deviation.
I'm thinking the mirage and the heating up of the barrel.
Could be. Well, what we can definitely say is that's not what I would call good shooting at all. Okay, but what you did here was excellent. I mean, that was very good. You're under a minute of angle. And we are back with our after action report. And what do we have to report today, Mr. Obvious?
Well, we got to report an old goody gun, the old 22-250, I guess. I've shot better with it, but it didn't do too bad.
Well, you definitely outshot me, and we anticipated that, but
I ain't shot it in 10 years, but you know, like I said, so it's been a long time.
It's a nice rifle. I really like this rifle. The Remington 700 action, to me, is just one of the best actions ever.
Yeah.
I think it's a smooth action. The jewel bolt on here looks beautiful. Yeah. The bluing on this rifle is quite nice. And you say you got this about 20 years ago. So this is roughly between 2000, 2001, that time frame.
Yeah.
It was built. So, yeah, this is a quality firearm. I think it is very nice. The 22-250 is one that I personally always viewed as being kind of like having a Roadster or something, you know, if we're going to compare cars. Mm-hmm. It's purposely built to be high performance, but I'm not going to go get my groceries in it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like having a Porsche for me. That's kind of the way I look at it. I know guys take down deer with these, and I mean, obviously, if you can take a white-tailed deer with a 223, you could definitely do it with this.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, it is possible to do. I personally wouldn't, but that's just me. I mean, even if my bullet placement was great, I actually shoot better with a 6.5 or a 308, or even a 300 Win Mag. I tend to shoot a lot better than that. But that could be the scope also. Could just be the way I'm looking through it and my personal perception of it.
I have killed a deer with this gun, long range, so quite a long range.
Yeah, and you're pushing out at 600. You're about 300 foot-pounds of energy.
Yeah,
that ain't much.
Yeah.
So I mean, would we call that an ethical shot?
Yeah, it was 600 yards. The deer was.
Yeah,
and it actually freaked the deer out. It actually went off its feet, fell down, got back up.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, maybe I missed it. I scared it or something. It went 150 yards and just fell over dead.
And again, bullet placement, people. You know, if you can go out and tack drive with this at 600, this would suit you very well. And I'm sure a lot of people can, and that's really what it's purposely built purposefully built to do.
Yeah.
Is be very accurate at medium to long range, and I would say based on what you shot, we would say it definitely is very accurate.
Yeah.
You
I mean, I wouldn't recommend shooting at any deer past probably 100, 200 yards with these. Maintain your velocity.
Yeah.
For hard impact.
I
mean, shock off the bullets, what's going to kill it.
And people will disagree. Everybody's got an opinion. And, you know, me personally, I want something pushing 1,400 foot-pounds when it hits to get an ethical kill. So with the 308, you can do that at 400. With 6.5 Creedmoor, same thing. At 400 yards, you're getting a very ethical kill on the deer, in my opinion.
This is a little light for that, but
I think so. But that people do it. People do it, and
I don't recommend it.
Well, teach their own. You know,
I've done it, but
there's a lot of guys online doing it, and more power to you. It's not my cup of tea, but that doesn't make it not good. It's just you know, everybody's got a preference, you know. But I do think this is a very sweet rifle.
Yeah, it's a varmint gun, a target gun. That's what I originally bought it for. It's groundhog hunting. When we had a lot of groundhogs, now we got a lot of coyotes. Now we don't have a lot of groundhogs anymore, so it pretty much just lays in the safe.
Yeah, I got a lot of coyotes. We're gonna have to start doing some predator calls and taking them out. We've got some new equipment coming. Mr. Obvious bought a camera apparatus that allows you to see through what he sees through the scope.
Yeah, Tacticam.
So we'll be bringing that to you, getting it kind of dialed in for a rifle. And I'll tell you, a neat one I'd like to see it on is that 6.5 PRC you've got.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a cool one to debut it on. But let us know in the comment section below what you'd like to see. Are you a fan of the 22-250? Is this your go-to round? Do you disagree with us completely, or do you agree? Let us know in the comment section below. I hope you all had fun watching this. We always have fun shooting them. We enjoy bringing this to you guys. As long as YouTube will allow us to, we will continue to do so. We appreciate that YouTube does give us a platform, even if they disagree with our lifestyle. And we don't live together. It's our shooting lifestyle we're talking about. Yeah. But anyway, so comment below what you thought. Anything else you want to add?
No, that's about it.
All right.
That's about it for this.
So with that, everybody, remember, keep your knives sharp, keep your powder dry.
Subscribe to Last Minute Man and hit that comment section below.